Oh my god, old pictures of Yara from 90 Day Fiance have leaked because she was on not one, not two, but 3 separate reality TV shows before 90 Day Fiance, and I'm gonna tell y'all what, she looked completely different. So here it is, y'all. We gotta look at these pictures. They're so different and crazy, I wanted to show you guys. So first, I'll refresh our memories. There is Yara in present day. We all know she's got the blonde hair, huge lips, you know, nose isn't too big. Now let's look at her, the old Yara. Boom, right there. I know you guys are probably going to say there's no way that is her. Yes, believe it or not, that is actually Yara. I can't believe it. She looks completely, totally, 100% different. Originally, on her first reality TV show, she had the black hair. She didn't have her nose done. Her lips were obviously not done. Then she went on another reality TV show of some sort, and that's when she actually dyed her hair blonde. So she looked a little bit more like she does now, but even still, she still looked completely, totally different. So completely crazy. Comment below what you guys think, but that first picture, I'm gonna show it to you guys again, boom, right there with the black hair. It's just like, is that even really her? But yes, we can confirm it's 100% her. And if you are wondering what was the deal with these reality TV shows or TV shows she was on, because that's kind of bizarre too, and that basically just goes to show and confirms, not that her and Joey's drama is fake, but it is like, you know, they wanted to be on it. I don't know about Joey, but we know for Yara for sure, she wanted to be on a TV show. That's probably all she really ever wanted, was just the fame and the attention. And you know, hey, guess what? She's kind of got it now. But yes, she was on different TV shows, and they're kind of actually bizarre, interesting, kind of contradicting for her. The first one was called like Fashion to the People or something like that, and she went on there and said a couple things completely contradicting. Number one, said that she was a huge party girl. She was only 19 at the time. Said that she wanted to meet some rich man and all this kind of stuff, and meet a foreign rich man, which is kind of funny because she ended up with Jovi, who I think makes money, but he's definitely not rich by any means. So the funniest thing is, though, you guys, is she complains and complains and complains that Jovi parties and parties and parties way too much, but it's a few years ago, and I guess it was a while ago. She was 19, maybe she could say she was young and whatnot, but it is like, well, Yara, you just said you were a huge party girl, so kind of hilarious. But she went on there. The interesting thing for me is she went on there and elaborated totally, completely about her family and her family life. Now, she has mentioned her mother and I think her grandmother on 90 Day Fiance, but she's never mentioned a dad, and I always thought that was kind of weird. Joey never mentioned a dad either, which honestly, his dad actually has a whole story within itself. His real dad, that's kind of a drama within itself. I'll talk about that later. But with Yara, we never heard about her dad. Well, she said on that first reality TV show that her parents got divorced at a very young age. I guess the dad was actually kind of like physical, and he was apparently a successful Hungarian businessman, a very well-off businessman. So I was like, what the heck? That is interesting. It doesn't sound like, though, she has much of a relationship or a connection with him now, though, because it sounds like he was kind of physical with the mother, and she saw it. She was completely traumatized by it, which is, yeah, I you know, believe it and can totally, I mean, I can understand why. It's awful. And so after that, it looks like shortly after the dad got a divorce, he went his separate ways. And kind of the funny thing, and not really funny, but it's kind of more so just ironic, is that the mom, Yara's mom, was like saying, no, 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 Yara, you can never be with a foreign man, because of her experience, because, you know, she's from the Ukraine, and then the dad was like Hungarian. So she was like, you cannot be with a foreign man because of her awful experience. But it's like, well, Yara met a guy in the US. But that was not the only show Yara went on. She also went on another show called Love Online. I think that's what it was. And yeah, she went on there. It was very similar to 90 Day Fiance. Kind of somewhat sort of where you'd meet someone, I guess. She met this guy named Rafael, he was Russian, but he was living in Barcelona, kind of a thing. She met him. She actually ended up going to Barcelona, and that's when the mom got kind of dragged into the whole thing, because the mom was saying she does not want anything for, you know, her to go overseas and whatnot. So she met this guy named Rafael. They did not hit it off whatsoever, and she ended up breaking up with the guy after 3 days being with him in Barcelona. But it was funny because they did describe her as a waitress, a seamstress, and an administrator. Okay, a waitress I could see. Was she, and you know, if the seamstress thing is true, it is kind of actually cool, I guess, because she does technically own a clothing line now, even though people were just calling her out for, I guess, just like reselling other people's clothes kind of a thing. So I don't know if the seamstress thing is true. But then the administrator thing, I have absolutely no idea what that means. But like I said, that was when we got to the mom. She was freaking about her going to Spain, Barcelona, all that stuff. And so that is when actually Yara was talking about all the stuff with the parents and the dad, and she was like 8 months old, and this whole traumatic situation, which is really sad and horrible. So yeah, pretty sad. And the last but not least show is she went on some, I don't even know, game show. It wasn't even reality. I don't know why I said it was reality. It was more so of a game show kind of thing. She went on there. She's later talked about it and said it was awful, it was horrible. It was filmed, it was really recent to a 90 Day Fiance. It was around that time frame. This was more recent. Said it was awful, hated doing it, couldn't stand it. And I believe I've heard that they asked her to come back, and she said absolutely not. I refused to go back on that show because the conditions were awful. She she didn't get anything out of it. No one's ever even heard of the show besides people like me who are completely crazy. So she just said no, and that was it. This was a stupid little game show. So Yara, yes, it is crazy. The thing that's crazy to me is not even the fact that she was on all these TV shows. That is just like whatever. She's not the first one though. Well, God. Is she? No. People have been on, well, maybe not, I don't, no, what am I talking about? Of course, we all remember Angela. Angela's been on the Maury show multiple times. So yes, she is not the first person to come on 90 Day Fiance and has been on other shows before in the past. She's not at all. We've seen it with Angela, and we've definitely seen it with others. I'm just having a big brain, you know, fart right now. But we've seen it with others for sure. But yes, Yara and Joey. The thing I wanted to mention about Joey and his dad, I don't think I've ever mentioned this. It was kind of crazy. I'm trying to think who leaked this, and I really cannot remember. I don't remember who this was. I did not find this. I just saw it on Instagram a couple weeks ago that Joey's dad, who we see on Instagram, is not actually his real true dad. His name is like Monty, and he, you know, he's married to Joey's mom. Seems like a real nice, quiet guy. Had a similar job, or maybe he might actually, I think he still does have the same job, similar to what Joey does, you know, where he has to go and travel for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, that is not Joey's real dad. Joey's real dad looks exactly like Joey. If I can find a picture, I'll put it right there. He has an awful track record. What it sounds like happened was this man, Joey's biological dad, and Joey's real biological mom had Joey, and then a few years later, the guy just kind of ran off. He was, you know, doing stuff, stealing stuff, in and out of jail kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he was not up to anything good. It does not sound like Joey has any bit of a relationship with the guy, which sucks. You know, and it's sad, but I can see why. You know, if the guy was doing, you can Google it. It comes right up, not good, and it was very sad and just unfortunate. And once again, goes to show you can't pick your parents. You know, that really sucks for Joey. I feel bad for him. But on the bright side, he has this, I don't want to use the word new, man, because this guy that's married to his mom is like, I basically raised the guy. So what actually happened, I believe, was Joey was doing a Q&A on Instagram. Someone asked him, like, are you adopted? And then he just said, yeah, or something really stupid like that. And then Joey's mom said, no, he's not adopted. Joey's just being an idiot. He's just joking around. What actually is going down is he and, you know, this other man, we had Joey, then that guy ran off, then I met his, you know, my current husband, then that guy basically just raised Joey. And I think Joey was like, you know, 3, 4 years old, very young, when his, you know, stepdad or whatever got in the picture and raised him. So he's not adopted, that's the situation. His real biological dad, which he has never once mentioned on the show, has an awful track record, and I don't think he has any bit of a relationship whatsoever with that guy, which is sad. And, but I can kind of honestly understand why. Not that I'm judging the guy, but I can see why. You know, Joey's stepdad, whatever you want to call him, seems like a real nice guy. He's there, he's in the picture. He's actually around helping him, and I can see why they actually have a relationship. And the other guy, if he's out doing Lord knows what, in and out of jail, I can kind of see why he wouldn't really talk to him. And if that's mean, well, I'm sorry. Guys, 90 Day Fiance, Yara and Joey, before we sign off, one last time, let's look at that picture, y'all. And you guys are gonna call me rude, and I'm not trying to say she was ugly or she is. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying is she looks different. We have two people. They both look great. The old Yara, the new Yara, but they look just different, flat out different. There is the old Yara with the black hair. Yeah, I just can't believe that. I mean, she just looked like a different, totally different person. It's almost like she got something done to her entire face, like almost, like even like her face structure just looks different. So I don't know, maybe it's makeup. That just seems like really crazy. But either way, Yara, craziness, can't believe it. She just looked totally different, and that is just mind-boggling to me. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please tap that like button, hit the comments below, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.